The big visit, though, is going to be this Monday, when Dillon Gabriel is scheduled to come to Mississippi State. Now, he is scheduled to be at Oregon, I believe, starting today. They wanted to get that visit started early because Lanning is scheduled to go to New York this weekend for the Heisman Trophy ceremony with Bo Nix. But Gabriel is at Oregon this weekend, and then he is scheduled to be at Mississippi State on Monday. Obviously, he could make that visit to Oregon, like what he sees, and decides to commit there. But if all goes according to plan, he'll be on campus for Mississippi State next weekend, and Jeff Lebby can make a pitch to his quarterback to bring him in out of the transfer portal.
Is there any sense of optimism, pessimism, etc., in terms of getting Dillon Gabriel on campus?
I think there's some excitement because he's committed to a visit. Now, like I said, you got to survive the weekend with Oregon, but earlier today there were reports saying, well, Mississippi State's out, he's focused on Oregon, and then it gets confirmed by 24/7 that he is going to be making that trip to campus. So, I think it's just like anything else in recruiting. You can't feel good about anybody until they visit. Nobody is going to commit to somebody's sight unseen. But if they can get him on campus and get him to sit down with Jeff Lebby, a coach that he obviously has this great relationship with, you got to feel decent about Mississippi State's chances there. I also feel good that I think Dillon Gabriel has a good enough relationship with Jeff Lebby that there won't be any string along, right? There'll be, coach, I'm in, or coach, I'm out, and you can move on to the next guy if that's the case.
Doesn't feel like he just makes a courtesy visit.
Right.
Like if he goes to Oregon and feels great about it and is like, I feel like I owe it to Coach Lebby to go sit down with him or visit with him. I mean, it feels like time could be saved for everybody if he makes his decision over the weekend. It feels like he would pick up the phone and call Jeff Lebby and be like, Coach, I don't want to waste your time. Now, maybe Jeff Lebby
I think he'll
says,
just commit.
Yeah, I would say maybe Jeff Lebby says, you're not wasting my time. Come here and see it before you make your decision. Maybe he does that, or maybe he's like, I hear you. Thanks for being straight up with me. We'll all move on. I wish you nothing but the best.
Right. So, I think that's the plan. And then they'll bring in they've got some other prospects they want to bring in starting next weekend if Gabriel were to not be interested.
I do like
one of which I hope State. I would like State to get the next guy just because I think he's a good football player. But I'm going to have to pronounce his last name correctly if that occurs. I think you know who we're talking about.
We're talking about DJ Uiagalelei?
That's him.
Oh, and
I said today
spelling.
on the Thunder and Lightning. I said that today on the Thunder and Lightning podcast. If he commits to Mississippi State, I will commit to learning how to say his name correctly.
Where else is he considering?
I know that Florida State is one I think he's interested in. I don't know if they've scheduled anything with him just yet. I think they're trying to get into the Cam Ward sweepstakes.
Them and everybody else.
I think Miami was another name. Yeah, Miami was another spot that he might be interested in. But he is interested in Mississippi State. He knows what the Jeff Lebby offense can do for a quarterback, and I think he's an interesting fit. I know he's got the arm strength. I know that's not a question. He's got some mobility. Big kid, obviously. From a recruiting standpoint, he'd be the highest rated quarterback State's ever signed. This was the number one high school prospect in America his senior year of high school when he went to Clemson. And has put up, the last 2 years combined, he's thrown for over 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. It hasn't been otherworldly or anything, but what is State last year if they get 2,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 7 picks out of Will